Hey everyone, how's it going today? Today I'm going to show you just how to build a wire harness. Now this doesn't have to be used specifically on the WRX, this can be used on any vehicle. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I picked up here. These are the LED lights that I have. I was given them by a friend. It has a Lamborghini on the box, so you know they're good quality. But what I bought was some 18 gauge wire, and this is like $5 and it comes with 40 feet, so that's more than enough. As you can see on the lights, the actual wire itself is really thin, so that was why I went with the 18 gauge. I even probably could have gone with a 20. But besides that, I bought a inline fuse holder to basically put a fuse in it. Switch. It's just a 2-prong. You can get a 3-prong for some others and it makes it light up, which is pretty cool, but I wasn't worried about it on this one. And then some actual ring terminals for whenever I connect it to the battery. The last is just some butt connectors to be able to connect rather than trying to splice everything in. Make it a little bit easier, but with how thin this wire is, it really doesn't matter if you just tie it together or if you use an actual connector. So let's get started here. So the plan that I have is actually setting these lights up for whenever I go to shows at night. I can flip a switch and it illuminates the engine bay. My plan is to put them about right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this heat cover off, and that way I can run my wiring up all underneath there. And I believe that gives a good angle to kind of show the sides. It may be a little dim in the middle, but the sides has carbon fiber. That's what stands out the most, and whenever people get out their phones or something with their lights, that's what they usually are looking at. So I'm going to go ahead, take this off, and then get this cover taken off the battery and start building the wiring harness. So just ran the wire to see, kind of overdid it with the tape, but I wanted to kind of picture it in my head and put it out here to actually kind of see it and have a good idea of what I wanted to do. Ran one wire just kind of around up here, then back around. I'm going to tuck it behind here and basically just put a little bit of tape to secure it against there, then run it underneath here to the battery. So I have one done. Basically once I pull that off, I'll be able to cut another one the same size for the positive and negative, and then also just need to run 2 little lines this way because I'll tap into the light down here. So in building this, basically just spliced in the cable using the butt connectors and then wrapped it with electrical tape. So it was a pretty simple process, just stripping the wire and connecting it. Gonna wrap some electrical tape around this and then start working on attaching the lights. So I finally have the wiring pretty much done, just wiring in the lights. Now I'm going to go ahead and test it. I got one side connected here to the positive, and then here is the negative. So I know my wiring works, which is a big relief because it's a pain to try to figure out where your bad connection is. So now all I have to do is tap in the fuse as well as the switch. So this setup looks pretty easy. It does take a little bit of time, but I have my positive here, my negative here. It runs up to where it's tapped into one light here, and then the extension part, it goes up to here. So now this is what connects to the actual battery terminal. I have my switch here, and then fuse, and then this will connect to the positive for the rest of the lights. Now I did mess up. I put the switch on the line side rather than the load side, but with the fuse being on the load side here, it's still within, I guess, an actual positive part, so if there was any issue, the fuse would still blow and disconnect the line for me. So I'm not too worried about it, but did mess up there, so you'd want to put your fuse closest to the battery and then the switch after that if you're doing it yourself. Alright, so I have the lights all taped and wired up. Put my switch right down here in front of the battery. So I'll go ahead and flip the switch, and we have lights. So everything worked out well, no issues. Basically I'm going to put the cover back on the battery and then figure out how to line these up to be able to get the cover back over and cover all of it up. So this is the final result here. Basically a light there, then a light here, then right down at the battery, here's my switch. So I can just flip the switch, it turns on the lights. Now I'm going to go ahead and close the garage and show you how much it actually lights up the engine bay here. So I got the lights off right now, about to turn them on. There we go. For these being just some cheap lights, they ended up working out really well. Definitely lights it up. There's not really much reason for having these installed besides late night meets whenever I want to show off the engine bay. People run around with their phone camera flashlights and are kind of looking around, but this may kind of attract some people, as well as just get some more people interested in the car and then Subarus in general. I hope that you enjoyed this video. This kit probably cost me about 30 bucks, maybe $35, so it was actually real cheap, and like the way everything turned out and how all the wires are tucked and hidden. Till next time, happy driving and enjoy.